In this video, we're going to talk about setting up email hosting for your organization using Google Apps, so your company or group can have its very own @mydomain.com type email address. The first thing we want to do is navigate to google.com/apps and click the Get Started button to sign up for an account. Enter the domain name you want to use for your organization's emails and click the Get Started button. Next, fill out the basic contact information for the person who will be designated as your email administrator. This will be the person responsible for setting up new mailboxes and managing the Google Apps service overall. Now tell Google a bit about your organization, and if your organization already has an email domain, what platform you are switching from, such as Microsoft Exchange Server, or maybe your internet service provider previously hosted your organization email. Or maybe you ran your own mail server in-house. Or if your organization never had its own email addresses before, then just answer no here. Next, decide who or what email account will function as the administrator account. This is the account that has godlike power to make changes to your service settings and add or remove other mailboxes. I would suggest not making this mailbox the one you use every day, but instead only log into the administrator mailbox when you need to make configuration changes. Use a separate non-administrator mailbox for your everyday email needs, and safeguard that administrator password. Once you accept the legal terms and continue, we are ready to verify your new account. The easiest way to do this is simply follow along using the Setup Wizard. You need to verify that you are the owner of the domain name you want to use before Google will allow you to start using it through the apps service. One easy way to do this is simply create a DNS entry in your domain records according to the instructions that Google provides. Then Google checks for this entry and is able to confirm that you do indeed own the domain in question. For my domain, technologyanswerman.com, for example, DNS is hosted by GoDaddy. If your DNS host is not listed, contact your hosting provider for assistance if you are not familiar with how to make DNS changes. Using your DNS editor, simply add a TXT or free text type DNS record for your domain and copy and paste the unique value provided by Google into the value field. Submit your changes and save or update your host file. Remember that it might take some time, up to 48 hours, for your DNS changes to fully replicate across the internet. Another way you can verify you are the owner of the domain is to upload an HTML web page to your website for Google to verify. First, download the web page provided by Google to your computer hard drive, then upload the file to your website using standard FTP. Make sure to place the file in the appropriate directory. Next, use the confirm link provided by Google to verify that you uploaded the file to the appropriate location and that the page works correctly. Once you verify it works correctly for you, you are now ready to proceed with the Google Apps verification process by clicking the Verify button. Now we are ready to add user mailboxes. If you signed up for your free Google Apps account before May 10th, 2011, then your account allows up to 50 free users. But if you sign up after May 10th, Google only grants you 10 free users. But not to worry, if you need more than your free allowance, you may upgrade to a paid Google Apps for Business account at any time. And by the way, if your organization is a recognized nonprofit organization, you can apply for a Google Apps for Education account for free, or upgrade to a Google Apps for Business account at a special rate. There are two easy ways to add user mailboxes for your organization. One method is simply add each user manually. To do this, click on Organization and Users link at the top, then the Create a New User button. Fill in the first and last name as well as username fields. You may also assign the login password or let Google create a temporary password for you. You can then create another user or send your newly created user instructions for how to log on. But for purposes of this demonstration, we'll click Done and explore configuration options for our new user. I'll simply highlight and double-click our new user, and that opens up configuration settings specific to his new mailbox, where I can set things like forcing a password change on logon. Now I want to add an alias to his new mailbox so as to allow receiving mail using a second email address. So I'll click the Add a Nickname link and click Save Changes once I'm done. Finally, if you want to make this new user a fellow administrator of the site, you can toggle that setting on under the Privileges link. Click on Domain Settings to update your organization name, contact information, and the support message your users will see when they click Help. I also recommend you check the box to enable SSL to keep your login credentials private. Now, click on the Advanced Tools link and you discover the second way to add new users to your organization. Click the Bulk Upload link. This is especially useful if you have a lot of users to create. Simply create a standard CSV file and upload that file here. If you experience any problems trying to create new users using this method, make sure your field names in your header are correct and that you are using strong passwords for each user. Finally, let's create a custom URL or web page address to access email. Click the Settings link at the top, then click the Email Settings link on the left. Here, select a custom URL, something easier and more intuitive for your users to remember. I suggest simply making it mail.whatever your domain name is. Next, you'll need to follow the instructions for updating your DNS accordingly. Once completed, your new URL should work. Once you have all your users added and your email services configured as desired, scroll down and click the instructions on how to activate email. To start receiving email from the internet using your new Google email account, click the Change MX Records link and update your domain's DNS records according to the instructions on the page that follows. You'll want to configure the MX records for your domain to match what is reflected in Step 10. If you use GoDaddy as your DNS host, visit technologyman.com/Google to download my free DNS import file to quickly add all your MX and CNAME records for your own domain. Once your DNS changes have been submitted, verify that your newly created records have been recorded properly. Don't forget to delete the MX and related A and CNAME records pointing to your old mail server once you are ready to cut over mail services fully to your new Google Apps account. And remember to allow time for your DNS changes to replicate. For additional tips and videos related to Google Apps products, as well as to post your own questions and comments related to this one, please visit technologyman.com/Google or my YouTube channel, Technology Answer Man.